Alright, thanks for joining the channel again. This is going to be a tier list follow-up video. Today I have a couple of characters with me. I have a couple of PvP extraordinaires. We got SJ Sharks. Let me type in Sharks. You can see rank 28 on Aether. And I have Mr. Aurelia Weaver, who is rank 18 on Aether. Myself, I'm rank 31. And I have the one and only Ellie, who is now like a standardized character in every video that I make. So you know we couldn't make a video without bringing back the OG Monk Mentor, twitch.tv/Neurosella. You gotta check out that Monk guide. It's like 7 hours long. Every question is answered there. But topic of today's video is going to be following up the PvP tier list after 6.1 because some shit got changed. Some classes got nerfed and some classes got buffed. So right from the start, let's start with the S tier. So job diff. Do you guys think that there's like a job that you have to have on your team now, or does Red Mage deserve to be here still after getting nerfed? What do y'all think?
Um, I think range is still like super high value, but now people are like starting to understand how to like counterplay it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think it lost a tiny bit of value. Also, the dot nerf was actually a little bit bigger than I thought it would be, but I mean, it's still a very like strong job. I think the silence nerf was actually the bigger like nerf overall. Like that extra second the lost was actually. Like
Yo, was it
it
a
made quite a bit of a diff, but I think it's still a very strong job. I don't know if I would still put it in the job diff tier. Like it's still super high value job, but I don't think it's like same level as like a white mage, for example.
okay?
Yeah,
So
Personally,
I
this is
think
this is SJ's tier list. So he actually didn't put it in. Wow, ninja isn't very strong. Okay, you're gonna have to explain that later. But
yeah,
so
that
yeah,
since
go
the
ahead.
red mage nerfs, I don't think that red mage is as strong. Like Ellie said, I think people have figured out how to play against it. It still has one of the best limit breaks in PvP because you can combine that AoE limit break with a lot of things. But in terms of a necessary part of your team, I don't think it's absolutely necessary that you need one.
yeah, I don't think you do. Yeah,
Nice. Okay, so yeah, I was actually thinking that red mage is actually kind of like just mid tier now. I was gonna drop it to B. I actually don't think that it's that crazy anymore. Um, like that being said, there are some really good red mages like Chel and Vivian Infinity come to mind. These are like really good players who have been playing red mage. Like
Perry, obviously.
yeah, Peridot obviously as well. And honestly, do you guys feel like it's like bottom A tier, upper A tier, or upper B tier? What do you think?
I still put it in the no name brand required because even if you're like monkeying around, you can still get decent results on red mage just because of the silence.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
But
sure. Oh yeah, I
in
guess
terms of
that's
the solo
true.
queue setting, I'd say it's an A tier.
I
Okay.
think the thing is like the problem with the making tier lists in general is that like here we're only going from the perspective of like a middle of the road player, like nothing special but nothing like too terrible either. And like some jobs would be higher if like they were played by like a job specialist, but they would be lower if just played by like a normal like all
Yeah,
rounder.
yeah.
Makes sense.
So that would be like putting it in the name brand diff, no?
Yeah, but I still
Yeah,
think rain mage is pretty easy to pick up, so I'd put it in A,
Okay, I'll
personally.
put it at the bottom of A tier for now. So there are some jobs here that are actually gonna exit the A tier. Okay, Warrior and White Mage. Do you guys think these still deserve S tier?
I think so. It's just there's a lot of bad warriors that make the job look not as strong as it actually is, but like a very strong warrior is gonna make your life actually hell. And well, white mage still has polymorph, and polymorph is just like the singular biggest playmaker ability in the game, I think, right now. So besides a like LB obviously, but
Okay. What about you, Aurelia? I know you play both of these jobs, Warrior and White Mage.
So I'm going to actually say that I think White Mage is still really strong. I don't think Warrior is S.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Would you put him
warrior
in A
maybe
tier?
I'd put in A. I think it's just like
I
white
agree.
mage is kind of just like a tier on his own at TVA.
So the reason
Okay.
why White Mage is like still kind of the king is because Poly is actually crazy. That CC should be removed from the game, in my opinion, because
Yeah,
it's
Poly is
just
just.
that good, and it's not even a limit break. It's just the available on demand every 25 seconds, I believe. So the amount of
I'm not even
impact.
sure what the CE is, but like, yeah, it's just like it's a 2 second uncleanseable CC, which just makes it like there isn't any
Yeah,
counterplay against
this
it. Like
like
besides running away, there's just no
the
counterplay.
the only way to counterplay White Mage is to guard super early and hope they're not paying attention, right? That's like
Yeah, I
the only
think like
strategy I've come up with.
honestly, I think the only job that like counterplays fully is like monk, and even then it's risky. But like if a riddle of verse before, and like you can just like riddle, like you can just use the reply right after, but you come out
Oh,
of
to
fully.
explode.
If you
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
die, that's the big like
If you
if, and
survive.
that's
Does the
still
shield
very
still
scary.
thing about polymorph also is that it sort of like deletes it like sort of like deletes a lot of status effects. Like, do you keep the riddle averse shield if you get polymorphed?
Yes.
Okay, okay, good.
Yeah, like
All right,
riddle very still compiles even when you CC.
nice.
But it has,
Um,
well, it has a big caveat that I already said in my personal guide, but like the thing doesn't pop on its own. So if you get like CC at the very tail end of your riddle verse because you popped it early, then you're fucked because you won't get any value out of it.
oh really? You have to be free actions to manually pop it. It won't pop
Yeah, you have to
after a certain
press, you have
threshold.
to press it to actually let the
Oh, that's kind
ability
of
out.
gimped. Yeah, that's kind of
Hmm.
gimped. Yeah, it's not. They gotta fix
It's still
that.
a pretty good button, but you need to be like very conscious of like when to press it.
Yeah, I actually was feeling like Warrior could be middle of A tier right now. And the main reason why I think Warrior is middle of A tier, because as the game has progressed, people have sort of like found their damage more. Like people are no longer... Because before there was like a big problem where people would just dry S key. They would just see the Warrior W keying them, and then they would just dry S key. They would not even attempt any damage on the Warrior. But, you know, a lot of people now, they see the Warrior coming at them, they just hit him, you know? Like, he's not invincible. You just hit him, you know?
Yeah, honestly,
And,
I would say that like even though Warrior is extremely good sustain, their burst is not like too scary in general outside of LB.
yeah.
Hmm.
And also, like, once
Also,
people discovered that they are killable, they end up dying a lot more. Like, no one is ignoring warriors anymore. Because before, people used to just be like, ignore the warrior, try to kill his team. Like, no, 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 no. You kill him, you know. He unga bungas into the middle of your team, he's dead, you know. Happens
mhm.
all the time.
Yeah, and especially with the nerf that they hit Warrior with in 6.1, it's not as tanky as anymore. So you can't just sit in the front line and just tank all
Yeah,
of that damage for your
yeah,
team.
honestly, I think Paladin is tankier actually now.
Yeah, I think Paladin right now is tankier, but we can get there later.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. For Dragoon, I think Dragoon actually maintains the exact same position. I don't think it was changed at all. And
I
also,
wasn't, yeah.
I don't think that its surrounding context causes any shift. Because there are some jobs here that were not buffed, but because of surrounding external factors, they sort of moved. Um, Dragoon like maintains its like A plus, very standard, very fair job. Like it's just gonna do damage, no CC, very squishy because of Life of the Dragon. It's just like a vanilla good class, like sort of like the Oriana of the game. Like if you play League of Legends, like you're never gonna go wrong with it, and it could win the game for you. AOE style, it's fine. Samurai, I'm feeling like Samurai is starting to enter name brand required territory. And the reason why I feel that way is because I have gotten a lot of samurais that think that Meikyo Shisui is guard.
Yeah, no, it
Meikyo
is.
Shisui
Hmm.
is not guard, brother. Being immune to CC and running at me means you're just gonna get hit with the ice shuriken. Like, you are just about to get bodied. Let me see what this is. SJ's tier list. Let's see where he put Samurai. Put it in strong. Okay,
Yeah.
fair. No name brand required. Oh, really? So both of you put it in just vanilla good. So
Yeah,
can you
I
convince me to like bring it back up here?
I think
I
for
still
So
think,
samurai right now.
like, I was talking about it when I talked about monk, but like, samurai is still super easy to pick up and you're gonna do a shit ton of damage, so like, it's still pretty good value even if you're like an actual monkey at the wheel, but I think
don't forget the
a
LB.
good samurai will make the job like way more noticeable, but a bad samurai is still like some value kinda.
Oh, the
Yeah, I
ability to
think
remove someone from the game completely, just like by getting that LB off with Cheetan on, just kind of influences fights.
I also agree. But now with the Cheetan nerf, I think that samurai's dropped a little bit in priority, but they're still very strong just because of the
Yeah.
threat of the LB in general.
There's just some extremely bad samurais because people still do not understand how Kaiten works.
So let me talk a little bit about how I play Samurai, seeing as though I've been playing it to a fair amount, and I recently got 4K on Aether, Crystal Score just playing it. But I just kind of treat it like a tank. So at the very beginning, what I'll do is if my team doesn't have a tank, all right, I'm going to mark a target, and I'm just going to go in there. I'm going to soak as much damage as humanely possible with Chi-10, using guard smartly and trying to get out. And typically, because if you lead in with a stun, if your team decides to follow, they usually have good success. But on the same note, the more damage you soak up as a player with your abilities, the less damage they have for your teammates who may not be mitigating as much as you.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's generally my gameplay as well
So
on
you're not
monk.
really playing it like an assassin. You're playing it
I play it
like
like a frontline bruiser, but then I also dive after like targets in the back if I see their mana low. So
Hmm.
I kind of do a
mm,
rotation where I just run in there, I soak damage, I smack people around, I run away. I look at who is like low mana or HP on my way back, and then I just immediately go and dash for them when after I got my elixir off or whatever, and just all in on them.
Yeah,
the
it's
thing I wanted to talk about with samurai is I guess I have to emphasize that the I have to emphasize that samurai, like, you cannot afford to get baited by your own moves. I see a lot of samurais just run in and then like pop instantly.
Yeah, so
You
that's
know,
just bad map awareness. Yeah, I
like, and
mean the
this is not low
50%.
elo samurais. They are like higher level players, or this is when you come in with the ranking doesn't matter, right? Like your
Well, the
rank doesn't matter.
50% cheat nerf did like make it noticeable. So people who used to play like that are now dying and wondering why. And it's like, well, you used to have 50% mitigation. Now you don't. It's only 25%. So you
Hmm.
can't go as aggressive and soak as hard as you could before. Like before, that 50% cheat 10 gave you like a stupid amount of effective HP. It's like what? Uh, 1.5 times your
Yeah,
HP
so you'd
bar
have
because
like
you're
a
absorbing
90k
50%.
HP bar instead of a
Yeah.
yeah,
70k one.
Something wacky like that, yeah. And don't forget that your shield as well. If you hit multiple people with your, was it Ogi?
yeah, Ogi
Yeah.
and Kaishi.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay, I mean, here's my opinion, I suppose. Like, you guys have convinced me to keep it in A tier, just because, like, it is easy, it's only 2 buttons, technically, but, like, don't, I feel like samurais are in on cahoots, man. Like, they're, like, all grouping up to run it down mid, like, make the job look worse than it actually is. The
Yeah.
amount of times I've seen the Mekio, Shisui, and Joyer just run in and get popped. I'm immune to CC! I'm immune to CC! He just straight up dies to damage. Like, Machinist drill into Ice Shuriken, like, he's dead. But I'll keep it here because you guys did make good points. Summoner, I feel like Summoner is the Dragoon of casters. It's a very fair, just AoE pumper, cranking job. Um, you know, Nothing spectacular. It's very fair, very vanilla. It's just gonna pump out AoE
Hmm.
damage. I like it.
I
Kind
like
of like
Summoner.
normal. Kind of,
I think it's just a class like you wouldn't be upset to see it on your team or
yeah.
happy either way.
Yeah,
Like
there's some
Yeah.
pretty good
overall good
CCs here.
damage.
There's some okay zoning. I think Slipstream is still like kind of whatever because like most people just end in it, like myself included, like I kind of just ignore it because the damage is kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
So I
agree with
don't
that.
think Summoner and Red Mage should be like on the same bar,
That
if you know
too.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
Red
really?
Mage just does everything damage-wise that Summoner can do. Like Red
I
Mage
would
has a
probably
bind,
need like
has
a minus, where
Do
it's
you
like a
think?
solid job, but it's not like anything
Yeah.
outstanding.
It should at least be below Red Mage.
I see. Do you think
Like,
that it should be like this? Like let's use order in the tier as like an indicator. You think that the red mage would be ahead of the summoner, yeah?
for sure, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Honestly, summoner is just sort of like just like a vanilla, like pretty good job. Like you can't go wrong with it. It reminds me of like Annie from League of Legends. Like just like vanilla good character. Nothing spectacularly bad, nothing spectacularly good. It's just pretty chill.
So the one thing that makes it kind of stick out is the fact that they don't have an escape ability.
Oh,
Also
but
true.
Yeah, they can go in,
uh,
but they can't go out.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
and you don't really have like, besides was it Titan? I think that gives you a shield. I know one of their
Titan
abilities
has
gives you a
a
shield.
bind.
You have
as well,
the
yeah.
Aegis, which does give you a shield, but
Okay. Do you think it belongs in like name brand required? Like you have to be like a summoner one trick to pull it off?
don't
Well,
think so.
I'm more
No.
inclined to say that you kind of need to at least understand what you're doing to have more success on Summoner than Red Mage, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
Summoner
keep
is
it
more
here.
of a positional class than a...
Yeah.
I do say,
More
though,
than
I
anything.
will say though, I'd much rather have a Red Mage on my team than a Summoner,
That's true.
For sure.
because at least they're going
Do
to
you
live
think-
longer.
Do you think red mage deserves to be past warrior or no? I don't think it does.
I would
I don't
personally
think-
say no.
Yeah,
I think
I
they're
don't
both
think
good,
red
but-
mage is better than warrior. Yeah. Okay, so I like this order so far. If this section right here is like the A minus, this is kind of controversial. I want to switch these two now. I actually don't think Bard is A tier, and the reason why is because Bard has like a lot of niche applications and like timing the Warden's Paeon, like timing the silence in a crucial moment. It's a single target silence compared to just like the Unga Bunga cranking of Machinist. Like the Machinist cranking, just like, oh, me press drill, boom, you know, here comes 18k in your face. You know, rolling the
So-
chainsaw, let's go. Like it's just like requires a lot less intelligence about the job, and it performs about as well. And that's sort of like
I'm
what I
going to
mean.
add on to that a little bit. So I think Bard actually, because all the jobs here, you can definitely hit Crystal playing enough games on them, but I think Bard has significantly less damage output compared to Machinist when you have, let's say, 100-0 capability. So, for example, Machinist can air anchor into a marksman spite and like basically kill most people, and Bard doesn't have that option. So Bard plays much more of a support role where they can augment their team, but Machinists will definitely be able to secure kills a little bit better than Bard, in my opinion.
Oh,
Especially
okay.
because of the drill, you can basically screw someone's guard and secure kills that way, etc.
Okay, actually, SJ, I wanted to ask you here. You put both fizz ranged in name brand
Yeah.
difference. Do you think
Yeah.
that Machinist requires like a lot of tech or job specific Discord strats to like make it work? Because I feel like Machinist seems to be like a pretty unga bunga press your buttons class.
Yeah, my tier list is more based on like if everyone was playing at like a higher, like at the highest possible level. That's how I think in terms of this tier
Oh, I
list.
see. Okay. Yeah,
I
that
think
makes more
Bard
sense then, yeah.
at a really high level is better than Machinist, but in terms of solo queue, I think Machinist is just better.
Yeah, especially like when you're thinking about like player variance, like rolling the dice.
Yeah,
I would roll the dice on a solo queue Machinist and a solo queue Bard, like
I
in my
agree.
party. Yeah.
Yeah, solo queue bar, like unless it's Iris, it's kind of hit or miss.
I don't even think there's another name you could even put there. I don't think I've met like another Bard that was good.
I played Bard, but only on alt. Cause
Next move, I'm gonna switch Sage and Astro. I think that Sage is actually cooked right now. I'm feeling like I could put Sage in between Dragoon and Samurai. The job is
It
a
just
bumper,
does
dude.
like so much
This
damage.
shit is
I think Sage is
cranking.
really good. I think Sage is really good. It's just people don't know how to use the LB right.
Okay, I think the thing that like baffles me the most is the fact that people don't know you can just reposition the LB. And
Yeah, I
like you
guess
don't waste
also
any time on it, you can just move it.
I've seen some really good Sages in my solo queue, but based on the criteria that I'm using, like no name brand required, the best I could do is like upper B tier. But this job is fucking cooked. It's really good if you know how to play it. Um, like I really like seeing Sages on my team, and you guys agree like Sage is strong. Let's call this like the
So
tournament tier list for SJ, and also Ellie puts it in the A tier as well. You're gonna say
have
something?
any of you like actually tried playing Sage?
I've only been
Personally,
on
I
the
haven't
teammate.
because it's not really
Okay,
my
so
playstyle, but
let me tell you a little bit about Sage then. Um, I think it's actually a fairly high APM job based on what I've talked about with a couple other folks. So you get a lot of value from actually swapping your cardia around to the point where you may actually consider having a macro for everyone on your party.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why. So when you upgrade it, let's say with
Eucrasia.
Eucrasia, right? So when you upgrade it, when you dosis somebody, you put a shield on your cardia target, and you also heal them for the damage that you just did with dosis. So you heal them for like 2k, you put an 8k shield. And then you get a free Toxicon 3 if your shield breaks instead of falling off.
Mm.
And it's on a 15-second cooldown, kind of like White Mage's Cure 2. So Cure 2 is 12k potency for heal. This is a 8k barrier with 2k healed from your basic attack.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Sage though is that like I feel like I've gotten a lot of Sage kind of like do nothing as well.
Right, so I
Yeah.
think you have to actually understand what your abilities do, more so on Sage to actually capitalize. Because if you just use like Numa or whatever, you have to actually, line your Numa up so that you can actually have line of sight and hit people and actually give your team the shield that they get from it. People kind of just fire it off into the distance and try and snipe people with it. You can actually dive really well with it. So for example, if you have a samurai, a monk, a ninja, and they're coming after a target, you can help kill secured by dashing over to them and blowing them up because you kind of have enough. Or like just throwing Toxicon and then just like shooting them with Numa from afar. So you have a lot of options.
I'm really starting to simp for the Sage job, dude. I think it's like sneaky, like
Yeah.
you think it's not gonna do much, and then he starts carrying the game. It's actually kind of nutty.
Yeah,
Here
if you
we
have a good
are.
Sage on your team, I feel like you'd know, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can feel
you
the
feel
difference.
it. Like, yeah, you feel like, damn, these guys are dying, and I'm not the one getting the kills.
Yeah, but if they're not a good Sage, you can definitely tell that they're not, like, you can feel they're not playing the games like a
Yep.
4v5 immediately.
Yep. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
see them have cardio on one person the entire match.
yeah, they'll just
Yeah,
carry
yeah.
themselves sometimes too.
Yeah, that's kind of
I saw
also
that
bad.
happen when I was climbing my EU ult. I'd get like a old feaster, EU feaster, I'm not gonna name, and like they'll just
Uh-oh.
like cardia themselves and not swap
Uh-oh.
cardia ever, and it was like
Yeah, so I only
like they
see
were
value
getting
in
like
that.
zero value from their like support
Uh-oh.
abilities, and they were just playing it like a roamer, a
Send the
little bit like
boomer
ninja and whatnot.
beasters back to the retirement home.
Yeah, I don't think you get very much value out of that unless you're actually getting attacked and you want to break the shield purposefully so you can get some Toxicon. But that's about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. What do you guys think about the other healers? Both of them seem kind of like meh to me, like unremarkable.
I think Scholar can get some decent value, and I think Astro is really good in the right hands. Like Astro
Yeah.
is strongly name brand required, but a
Yeah.
good Astro is gonna turn the game for sure. It's like
Yep.
Bard.
Oh,
So
okay.
Astro can like kind of turn games around in the same sense as Sam with your 30% damage up and 30% damage down. So if you see the samurai with LB coming at your team popping Chitan, if the Astro uses their LB, the mitigation is going to make it so even if you do get hit by it, you're not going to die.
Oh, that's key, bro. That's a name brand required if I ever felt like a name brand was required. Okay. What do you think about Scholar? There is this one scholar actually who was it's kind of like really good, like Aiden Jan or some shit. I was playing against him. It's pretty good. But other than him, I haven't met a scholar that made me feel like I had to work really hard to kill his team.
I think out of all the other healers, I think Scholar probably needs a little bit of love compared to all the others.
Would you put it in C tier? Like, the C tier in my criteria is like, even if you're good at it, it's still going to be a hard game. So, do you think that even if you're good at Scholar, it's kind of like a difficult game anyways?
I think Scholar is somewhere, like, it's like a B minus job. It's like somewhere between name brand required and a hard game but winnable, because ramification is really good if you're using it properly, and also the like perma damage down basically is really good to shut down bears. You also have like a pretty strong buffing with like deployment of your shield. LB is okay. Like LB basically negates burst. Like LB is like same level as like a outgun, but it just requires a lot more work, I think, than the other healers, which is why it's like probably a B minus job. It's like
Okay.
yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
Scholar is kind of like it's in the same like spot as like a Reaper or melees. But like you can definitely get some results if you're just committed to playing that job and like being good at it, which is like not something the vast majority of people are willing to do. Like they want to like flex a little bit between different jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say that like my experience with Scholar is that I had like kind of like not even cared until I met that opponent Scholar in my games, and I felt like, damn, bro, I'm getting 51%ed every time. You know, every time I'm about to hit the 49%, he's instantly like 53%. Like, fuck.
But for sure, like a good Scholar can definitely like make a big diff. Also, expedient is really strong. Like the combat sprint is really strong.
Yeah, for sure. Movement speed without locking your GCD out is really good.
Yep.
Everybody says that they want sprint in PvE, and I always laugh because it's like, no, because if it wasn't PvE, you'd never use it. It locks out your GCD. It's a DPS loss. All right, now we're getting to the ninja, baby. All right, this is my one trick. I'm very biased. SJ's tier list assumes that everyone is like high-level players, and I would actually agree that ninja is like S tier level job if everyone in the game is like a high-level player. Name brand required is also where I would put it for solo queue. The main problem with ninja is that objectively speaking, your damage potency is kind of the lowest of the melee. Like, you have a 16k move that is on a 30-second cooldown, and then you have a 18k move that is conditional, that you also combine it with Bunshin and also manage to stealth in without getting hit. And the way damage registration works in this game is that you'll get hit out of Sakuchi very often, but if you are skilled enough to break LOS and Sakuchi in and not tap an AoE with your feet, you know, then you get like the 18k hit move. You know, the LB timing with the 49%, very rewarding if you hit it, does literally nothing if you don't hit it. So I think that, yeah, in optimal circumstances, like, yeah, this shit is crazy. It's bonkers. It's insane. If your team can create 49% opponents, everyone's dead. But sometimes, you know, in solo queue, man, I've been there. I cannot find find any 49%ers. Everyone's healthy.
Yeah, in terms of a solo queue environment, Ninja is a little too team dependent, so I'm okay with sticking it in B. But it can really impact the game if your team follows up.
In the right hands, it becomes like a gross job, like broken job. I think that the Bunshin buff was like a pretty it's like a pretty luxurious quality of life that I don't really know if it needed. Yeah, I hope they buff other jobs because I would like ninja to remain like toned down or like a hidden kind of thing. I really don't want it to get like fucking crazy because the way they have it designed right now is that like, you know, it loses all 1v1s pretty much. Any fair 1v1 where you both have full mana, the ninja's gonna lose. But the ninja's very good at finding you with your pants down, right? Like you're popping the potion around the corner, you're like 30% life with no mana, and then the ninja pops out of nowhere. Like that's what he's good at doing, and that's how you cinch the kill, you know? Very frustrating when it happens to you, but you know, you got to find those opportunities, and I think that it is really like Sage. It is really like the, you know, you either know what you're doing or you're a clown. Bard, we already spoke about Bard. Scholar. With Dark Knight, I really don't like Dark Knight on my team. You know, I'm actually thinking I'm about to put Dark Knight in C. Let me see what you guys think. C tier here, and no name brand here. I feel like Dark Knight is kind of just like not that impressive. It doesn't really seem to have like the disruption ability of Warrior, and it doesn't have the teammate potential of Paladin. So it kind of just feels like slightly better gunbreaker to me. What do you think, Aurelia and Ellie? SJ already agreed with me. Aurelia?
So I'm inclined to say that I think Dark Knight's okay, but it does take a little bit more finesse. Kind of like, maybe not as much as Paladin, but it's definitely effective for pushing the payload. I wouldn't say it's hard. I would say that I think Gunbreaker would be that tier, if anything, if we're moving stuff around.
Yeah, Gunbreaker also got buffed, but we'll talk about Gunbreaker when we get there. Do you think Dark Knight deserves to be name brand required? Do you think that it could be better in the right hands?
I don't actually know of any like Dark Knight mains that are popping off on the job, so I can't really comment on that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is that, like who's playing Dark Knight? You know, even Paladin. Like I can put Paladin here, and just quote John Dark Souls. You know, you get John Dark Souls on your team, bro. That's a W.
So Sir is also doing a lot of work over in Crystal with that.
Oh yeah, Sir's a good Paladin. He pulled out that new tech at the tourney, and that was really good too.
Like, when it comes to Dark Knight, like I have to place it in C because I can't say name brand required if I haven't seen a name brand Dark Knight. Like I have not seen anyone who's making me go like, damn, that's the Dark Knight main. Like it hasn't happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Based on my rank experience, I have not seen a Dark Knight that I felt like, wow, this person's carrying the game. Or in terms of in general, like Dark Knight, it's just there, right? That's how I feel.
He's just like occupying space. You know, he's a good crystal sniffer. You know, like that's what a Dark Knight is. But it's kind of like whatever. You know, like you would rather another tank, to be honest. Like whatever.
I agree.
What do you think, Ellie?
I think, okay, so Dark Knight is like...
Oh, you had it in A.
Yeah, I think Dark Knight can like be... Okay, so so if we go from like high healer play, like everyone is like Giga Brain and shit like that, I think Dark Knight loses value. I think its solo queue environment is still like okay because it's like, as you said, it's basically better than Breaker. Like you just have like more... I think a very strong Dark Knight could probably make like a pretty big diff, but it's such a risky job to play properly because you always have to like stay at low HP to get max value out of your shit. There's like, I don't think most people are willing to like play like this recklessly. Like besides like monk players, honestly, I don't really see most people playing recklessly. A lot of Dark Knight just play Dark Knight because they think it looks cool, and while the LB is a little bit gimmicky, it can shut down some bursts, but like It's kind of just like, okay, just like wait for it. Like
Yeah, he's
it's
just gonna
just like
die
a
in 10
worse high
seconds
ground
anyway.
basically. It's like offensive
Yeah.
high ground, but
It also doesn't give your team anything
it's
though. It doesn't
like
give
I
the
think Dark Knight is
50%.
kind of in that spot where it's like Dancer, where like I've seen some people theorize that it could be really good, but I still
Yeah,
yet to
but
see
there are
people
no,
actually
yeah, there
pull
are
it
no,
off.
yeah, exactly.
Like
It's
I'm
like,
not personally super well. Maybe I'll give Dark Knight a chance at some point because I think the job may interest me, but it's like I've yet to see people actually like push the envelope on the job and like properly like rigorously lab it out and like get some work done with it. Like I've yet to see that, so for now I'm kind of just like, okay, it's probably like name-brand required, a hard game but winnable. Like, but
yeah,
yeah,
I if
it's
I
kind of
had
this.
someone,
It's kind of like Scholar, but even worse because like Scholar, at least like I've seen people get some result with it like already.
yeah. I mean, the problem with name brand required is you need a name brand, like
Mm-hmm.
Iris, Rami, Fen before he switched to Red Mage, that Jaden guy from, Crystal High Elo, Iris again, John Dark Souls. Like, you have a name brand in mind, but when you think of Dark Knight, like, no one comes to mind. Like, it's just like, theoretically it could be good, but I don't have anyone, like, I haven't seen it. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
it's
to
like
leave
one
it.
of those like on paper jobs. Like on paper, it sounds
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
solid, but I've yet to see someone like actually like push it forward and like
yeah.
get stuff done with it. So yeah, I think C is okay for now.
I'm gonna talk about Paladin. I actually, like, if I get a person who mains Paladin on my team, like, instantly the job becomes S tier. Like,
Hmm.
the covers, bro, the clutch covers, oh no, I'm caught. Oh shit, I'm covered. Let's go. Like, the Paladin, like, never dies. The thing about warrior is that you can kill a warrior, but trying to kill a Paladin is fucking rough, bro. It's
Yeah, if they
fucking
want to press
difficult, dude.
RB, they're gonna press
If my
RB, and
dude,
yeah, you
if my
cannot do
dude,
anything about it.
dude, if the Paladin is a crystal enjoyer, bro, you're fucked. Oh, my game fucking timed out, so I'm hearing the Endwalker theme song.
You're not moving them
Dude,
out of the
if this
crystal.
guy is a crystal enjoyer, you're gonna get ratted out, bro. The amount of times I've played against like Paladin mains, and they literally, like, I've killed the whole team, but they're just sitting on the crystal, and like, the team doesn't want to hit him. It's sort of like the old warrior problem, where like he just gets ignored and he just rats. Like, you chase down his team and he's just like, he's on the crystal, he's pushing, he's getting extra percent on the crystal. It's
Mhm.
so cooked. I love it. But they gotta know that that's an option. If they pick Paladin and they start trying to play like it's Warrior, it's not gonna work. So
Yeah.
I think it is definitely buffed from C into name brand required.
But still, okay,
I agree.
personally, I think Paladin was like Monk pre-buff, where it's like, I think the job was already pretty decent, and like, it's just people weren't willing to play, because like, it was just harder to pick up compared to like the other jobs in the same archetype.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
Or like,
exactly.
like, back in like, when I like first climbed on to Crystal on my main, and like, I'd get John Dark Souls in the queues, when I was on
Yeah, it's a W,
Warrior,
bro.
bro, that shit was fucking
It's a fucking
goated. Like,
free
this
W,
man
dude.
is a gold man.
IRL
Like,
Giga Chat showing up. Hello, brother. Yes, I will cover you. You can go ahead and chase the team. I will push the crystal. Don't worry, my friends. I will give us 50%. Like, like, you got a
bro,
paladin
that
who
shit
knows
was
how to press their
so
buttons,
fucking
dude. It's a
disgusting.
fucking. He's built different, dude. I love that guy.
Like, we literally just like, I think there's a game, it was like a low diamond, high plat or something like that, where like, DD and I were like on the same team, and like, we're just like 2v5 the team,
Dude,
and we
you
just
can't kill
stalled
him.
for
You
like
can't
three
kill.
minutes on
You
the
got
crystal because Warrior
warrior
Paladin
plus
just couldn't
warrior
fucking
paladin
die.
on the crystal, bro. It's a wrap.
Like, it was just like, it was the most like a red behavior ever, but it's like, bro, like sometimes you
You
just
gotta
gotta
take
do
the
what you gotta
W.
do, and it's
Gotta
like
take the
Paladin is
W.
just
Yeah.
so good at stalling that it's actually disgusting.
I'm gonna continue now to Monk. I think Monk is actually really good if the player knows what they're doing. Like, you pretty much get to have like this chaotic damage dealer who's running around, dashing around and shit. Like, it also has that ninja thing where it's like people want to kill you. Like, you grab a lot of aggro, and you can survive. You know, you have the tools to survive. But you know, if you know, there's this one monk actually who's really good. Jay Vermilion. I've seen him in queue. You know, this guy will just like hunt down like the priority target like so crispy. It's so crispy. Like, it's like the Enlightenment six-sided star phantom. The guy's dead. The guy literally popped. It's like old feast monk out of nowhere. Like, whoa, really? Like, he didn't even get a chance.
Yeah, Jay is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I saw you had it in like organized play. It would be bottom of A tier, SJ.
Yeah. I think Monk is a bit more team dependent because you want your team to follow up on whoever you like decide to LB, right? And besides that, I feel like Monk is a bit map dependent. I feel like on some maps it suffers a lot. But on,
Oh yeah, the wind map.
on a
diff,
map
bro.
like Fire Map, it's really, really good.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree 100%. Like the wind map diff. What do you think, Aurelia, for Monk?
I think that Monk has the unique ability to make somebody on the enemy team not play the game.
Yeah, that's the mental damage, bro. You just fucking tilt them off the earth. No, you're right, dude. Yeah. You just pick one guy and you just fuck him up. I like it. Yeah. I do think if they were like, if Monk became more prevalent in the game system, Ninja would become like much weaker because playing Ninja against Monk, bro, you are living in fear. You know, I hope this guy doesn't decide to fuck me up.
Yeah.
You know, I got one Sakuchi, he's got 3 dashes. I'm about to get beat up. It's fucked up. But yeah, no, I really like Monk. I like seeing Monks on my team now. Like I could trust him to like, you know, it's sort of like your Unga Bunga brother who's just gonna go in like, oh, I'm Raijuing in, he's going in. You know, this guy's dead. This guy that I ride you, he's 100% dead. The Monk is not. Very enjoyable to play with, and
I think there's very much like there is very much a monk diff still. Like if you get like a good monk versus a bad monk, like the other monk is just gonna do absolutely nothing the entire game. But
yeah, people need to know the tech.
yeah, and also, well, I think monk is still one of the harder melees to pick up just because like you have so much option with how you want to play the game that it's like it can be overwhelming for people to pick up versus like a ninja or like a
compare it.
samurai where like most of your damage is very clear cut. Like it's very clear what your like burst angles are gonna be and stuff like that. I think ninja
Yeah.
still has like a lot of flexibility, but you do have like priority burst, I guess.
Yeah, like people would claim that Ninja is like a more complex job than Dragoon and Samurai, and then on top of that, Monk is a more complex job than Ninja. So, you know, that's just how it is. Like when you compare it to the other melee, it is definitely more brain cells activating. But I think that it's you know, I think it's
Yeah,
a
also
really
you
cool
have to
job.
deal with the fact that Vertical Reverse is super janky to deal with, but
Yeah.
also pressure point is kind of janky. Your dash is really good.
The one thing I wish they would do is make Enlightenment just like a basic stunt, not a knockback. Because
I think the
that has a
knockback
rushdown.
is fine. It's just the way Thunderclap works. Thunderclap doesn't put you in the target or in front of it. It puts you at like the max melee range basically, which means that like if they're running away from you as you knock them back, then you'll get LOS because of how
Oh,
servers
I
work.
see.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like your GCD is gonna start spinning and then you're gonna get the GCD refunded and the damage isn't gonna pop.
Okay,
So
yeah,
like the
yeah.
two things I could do is just like make Thunderclap go a little bit further or make it so you can pop pressure point with anything. Like if you
Yeah, I
could
mean,
pop
if you
pressure
could
point with
make pressure
Phoenix,
point
it
with
would be so much
six-sided
better.
star, like if you could pop it with six-sided star, that would be so cooked. It would be so
Oh yeah,
cooked.
I mean, like I
Dude, that
already
would be
think Monk
so...
is like super strong. Like it's probably the second best melee I think in solo queue, but like that
Wait,
was
wait,
straight
hold
up
on.
just
The
making it
second best
better.
melee in solo queue, it's well, it's not better than these two, in my opinion. Like just the freebie damage.
And I think okay.
Like the
I
amount of
would
thinking you have to do definitely doesn't like. I think
I
it's
think
like
there's like 3 tiers to melee where it's like it's like not necessarily like one is better than the other. It's more like different play styles. So like I'd put like Dragoon and Samurai and like they're just like raw damage dealers. Like
oh, you
it's
mean like
not
as a
like super hard to
chaos?
play. Like your
Yeah,
bursts are
yeah.
is like
I would
basically always the
say
same thing.
yeah.
And
Ninja's
you
more
just
like a
like do a
chaos
fuck ton of damage.
inducer,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
like you'd
whereas
say
like
monk
Monk
is
Ninja, you're
also
more like it's more like you have to play a little bit
you're just
like
fucking with them.
yeah, yeah, it's like you're just being a nuisance, you know? Like you're just like
Yeah,
running around, like picking up fights, stealing shit, like
yeah, yeah.
and then
Okay.
there like the third one would be Reaper, but I guess there's some overlap between Reaper and Monk too. Like Monk is kind of like it's in the middle, which is why I like it, because like you can play it a little bit like an assassin like ninja, where like you just like chill the entire game in the backlines and just like make someone not play the video game. Or you could play more like a Reaper or Samurai or whatever, and you just do like raw damage because your AoE is really strong.
Yeah,
And you're also
yeah,
super tanky. Like I think you're the tankiest melee by
yeah.
far.
You have like 60k life plus fucking damage, man. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
like I mean, I've gotten like 24k healing ticks from revolvers before, so you can definitely eat a lot.
Yeah, dude.
Like
I'm really
welcome
hoping to
revolvers
see
is the
the
difference between losing and winning a fight,
I'm
basically.
trying to see the monk streams, bro. I'm trying to see the more monk streams. The more I watch monk, the more I feel like I want to play it. But I feel like I should just stick to what I know. Otherwise, I'm gonna grief my team. Does it like for dancer? I mean, we talked about monk. I think monk is really good. Definitely
Yeah.
name brand required. You have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, you still need to know what you're doing. Like the job straight up does not play for itself. Like you can't
I
just like pick it up and like get like results instantly unless well you're already a good mill in the first place. But
yeah, yeah, for sure. I feel like moving into dancer. Like I feel like the dancer buffs were not that like impactful. Like, do you
Yeah, I
guys
feel like the
disagree
dancer.
or agree?
I feel like the dancer buff
I
didn't do
still put dancer in
anything.
this whole category. Damn,
Yeah,
you think
dancer is
Reaper
just
is
that.
better
I
than
think dancer is
dancer?
just that. Yeah, I
Shit,
think
I
dancer is
already
just
fucked
that.
talked
up.
about it in the Dark Knight. Like when we talked
Severe
about Dark Knight,
issues.
but it's like
So
I think
dancer
the
mains
only
just uninstall the
dancer I
game.
trust on my team is Shiv. And I think he's kind of just playing dancer for the meme, TBH. So it's like
All right. So Devs fell
like
asleep,
does
bro. If you see
one
that,
single job specialist make or break the entire job? It's a hard question to answer, you know? Like I still think dancer is not that big of a threat to fight against. Like I've definitely seen some dancers like pop off and do a billion damage, but it's like I feel like you put these players on like any other job and they do even
yeah, like
better.
imagine your dancer was
Yeah.
just playing machinist, right?
Like dude,
You just clap him.
like if the dancer is like topping the damage chart, like just fucking imagine putting them on like a sage or bar. They actually just be unstoppable. But
What do
well,
you think, Aurelia, about dancer? Haven't heard you say anything.
So the only thing I've been hearing about dancer is the forbidden technique known as the blunder, and that's just spamming AoEs. Yeah,
yeah,
that has mixed results.
Okay. All right.
like
I mean, seems to be
also
overall
okay.
negative feedback here. I
Another
don't know if we
problem with
should.
dancer is that like its LB is channeled and channel LB are kind of just whatever. Like channel LB is like me on Monk. I see like a fucking gunbreaker or dancer start LBing. It's
Oh,
like
here we
fucking
go, baby.
enlightenment SSS on
Freebie.
site. Like you're straight up not playing the game anymore,
Here's the
bro.
freebie, right?
Or it's
It's
like
like
I'll just
it's like
LB
Aurelia
them
said.
because like I
Monk
don't care if I'm gonna
deletes
get
the
CC
opponent's
mid LB. The
buttons.
damage is still gonna go through anyways. So
The biggest problem with dancer, in my opinion, is that the abilities it has is just on the wrong class. Like you can't give the fizz ranged Garen spin, you know. You can't give the fizz
Hmm.
ranged like Black Hole from Dota 2. I mean, Enigma had Black Hole, but Enigma also had like fucking he had like a normal stun on his fucking move. I don't know if you guys played Dota 2, but I'm making like
Yep.
nope.
comparisons. Like the
Yeah.
problem with a channeled AoE CC is that you're gonna get bodied. As a squishy target, you're gonna get bodied.
Oh
And
yeah, another
also,
problem
like,
with
you see the dancer spinning to winning on you, you're just like, yo, what, you know, am I stuck with you or are you stuck with me, brother? Like, fucking fine.
the other big problem with denser LB is that the CC doesn't apply properly. I don't know if it's bugged or if it's just due to server ticking since it's channeled, but it doesn't apply right away.
Yeah, that's true. It does
So like
not.
sometimes
I've
I
walked
just
out
sit in
of.
it
I
for like a
literally
full
walked
second
out
and
of
I'm
it.
still
Yeah,
not
yeah.
CC. Like I can just walk out and like nothing's gonna
Like
happen.
I late react to a dancer LB and I walk out and I'm fine. You know, it's happened before. It needs some help. It really needs some help, especially like with the other bad jobs getting help. Dancer is like, you know, the overall like ceiling went up, so now it's even worse. Let's talk about Reaper. I think Reaper is in the situation like Gunbreaker, and we're gonna talk about them simultaneously. It's like they got help and they still need help, but it's not terrible if you get them on your games. Like I'm not losing hair follicles if I get these people on my games, but you know I wish he was playing something else. You know, yeah, like yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where I would put it too. Oh, you think is Gunbreaker as bad as Dancer, Ellie? Do you is this like
Gunbreaker,
I think Gunbreaker is better now with the buff.
yeah.
Yep.
I
I
think
think
honestly, between a dancer and a gunbreaker, I'd probably take the gunbreaker just because Nebula is really good. It's just underrated.
yeah, I
yeah
think in my opinion, Gunbreaker can have like two different tiers, right? In solo queue, if the enemy team has a tank, I think Gunbreaker is about C tier. But if there's no tank on the enemy team, I think Gunbreaker is D tier.
yeah? If the Gunbreaker gets to play like a DPS, he's kind of cracked actually, right? Like he's pumping huge damage. The main problem with Gunbreaker though is that he doesn't fulfill his blue jobstone.
Yeah.
You know, he
If
really
Gunbreaker could
doesn't
get
fulfill
Nebula
that.
off of themselves, I think it would be good.
All right. I mean, and then for Reaper, I feel like they just gotta make the fucking enshroud a normal button, dude. Get that shit off the
No,
LB, bro.
I think Reaper is like Nimburn required, but it's like the bottom of Nimburn required. I don't think
Yeah,
Reaper is
yeah.
unplayable. I think Reaper is
What
pretty good.
what is this good thing about Reaper right now? Like I feel like Reaper is just like
Well, LB being
6.0.
super short is really good. Like Hysteria is straight up uncleansable. It's AoE.
Gets rid of
You get
guard
it like
too.
pretty often. Okay,
I
the
feel
one
like
guard is
problem though
huge.
with Shroud being like, well, it's just like a
That's like
thing of the
yeah,
time, like Black Mage is like you can just LB them. Like
Yeah, I don't.
you can just CC them. You can just like body them around. Like
yeah.
they're
Like
doing a
you
lot of
get your
damage. Like it's
main
like
move.
12k GCD or something like that. But
Yeah, and it's like the core identity of the job. Like you only get to be the Reaper, you know, the Reaper once every like 45 seconds if you play perfectly and you get the plentiful harvest stacks, you know.
I think
They're
Reaper's actually a little bit underrated. I think Reaper's actually
yeah,
pretty good to get rid
I
of
think
guard.
Reaper's a little bit underrated.
But
But
people don't realize you have to break their crest to get rid of their damage buff too. So that's also a thing that people need to start playing. I think it's
mhm.
not a bad
all right.
class at all.
You guys convinced
Also,
me to.
Reaper AoE is actually pretty solid. Like Reaper
Yeah.
AoE among the melees, I think is straight up on par with Monk.
I'd say bottom of
Okay.
B tier as well.
Okay. I was actually
It's
gonna put
just
it in C, but you
it's
guys
just
convinced
like
me.
a Reaper doesn't have the nuking capabilities Monk has or Ninja has because like well their
It
LB
just
is like
seems like
just like
more
it
like
just buffs their damage but it doesn't make them like nuke.
yeah. It seems like it seems like a sustained DPS like philosophy in the design,
Yeah,
but they can't really sustain DPS that well.
yeah.
That's the
The thing I
problem.
was talking about when I made my Monk guide is that like Monk, like Ninja, is really good at like doing the start of the health bar or the end of the health bar, but not like super good at doing the middle part. Because like your damage isn't really like super sustained on Monk. It's just mostly like big like spikes kind of, which most
Yeah.
people don't really expect. Ninja is the same way. Like you just have like big damage spikes.
Yeah, I would
And
say for Ninja, I would not
Samurai and
even like
Dragoon also kind of spike their damage, but it's like a little bit more spread out like Reaper. So I think they're just better for like the middle part of the health bar. Like they're not necessarily gonna kill someone, and they're not necessarily make someone feel threatened at the beginning of their health bar, but they're gonna like close that distance between the start and the end of it, right?
I kind of feel like if they switched, like, if they gave Reaper and Shroud in their actual kit, and then they put like a damage button on LB, it would be a lot better. Because then it would be like Dragoon. It'd be like Dragoon or Samurai, where they have like the big damage button on their LB, but the kit functions well by itself. Like by gimping yourself, by putting like the core move set on the LB, it's like kind of rough. So I'm gonna leave it at the bottom of B tier based on your suggestions. Aurelia, do you have anything to add for Reaper?
No, that sounds about right.
All right. Last job is gonna be Black Mage. I'm gonna do a little bit of a spicy take here, but I think Black Mage is really fucking good. Like, I think that if you protect your Black Mage, like I don't even say like full-time job protecting. I just mean like I throw a Raiju for him when the Samurai dives on his ass. I'll just Raiju the Samurai, you know? Just like that little bit of peel, like, yo, Black Mage is kind of cooked right now with the with the amount of like, it is the purified deleter. Like having a teammate on my team that eats purifies for free is so nice. I mean, that was the old Red Mage, right? On a 15-second cooldown, you have to purify. But now Black Mage is like, yo, you better be purifying or else you're not gonna be able to move. I think that the Black Mage gameplay like went from, you know, almost unplayable to like really pretty fucking good. Let me see if you guys had it. Yeah, strong.
So the one
here.
problem that Black Mage has is if the enemy team has a monk, you kind of don't get to play the video game.
Yeah,
That's
that's
also
true.
true.
Yeah. Also, if the
Yeah.
enemy team has like a crazy ninja who's chasing your ass. But I feel like even in the case of the ninja, like you could like freeze him and survive and like run away and stuff. It's not like it used to be sort of like you just bully the Black Mage and he can't do shit. But now he can do shit. You know, he can do shit about you. And just a little bit of help. Like I've had like samurai warriors, like samurai plus warrior dive my Black Mage, and I just Raiju both of them, and they both fucking die. Like they pop Purify, still try to chase him. Like the guy ports, like the Black Mage ports or some shit. Like does a little bit of a juke, and then like their Purifies run out and they're iced, and then we kill them. It's like it's really good. If the guy knows what he's doing, or even like, bro, I've won games with like, I'm actually not gonna call him out, but there is this notorious player who is like not very good in Crystal, and he's queuing up as Black Mage right now, and I've won games with him on my team as Black Mage. You know, that just goes to show how good the job is.
Yeah, I
don't know
think Black Mage is like high risk, high reward. Like you can definitely get some solid work done with it. It's just like
I don't know if it should be
as
name
Steven
brand
said,
diff
it's like
or-
you have a monk in your team, and it's like, well, the Black Mage doesn't get to play the video game. Like the monk doesn't
yeah.
even need to sell them; they just need to like whiff in their general direction.
I mean, here's the thing, like, I don't know if it should be like, I think it's very strong, or I don't know if it should be, like, around here, maybe, like, name brand required, but I've seen, like, there are, like, a couple of, like, legitimate Black Mage mains. There's, like, Blink Nub, Nishi
I think
or something.
Choco is one of the best Black
Yeah,
Mages.
Choco Chick, yeah, also.
Right,
Um,
too.
but, you know, I've won with Black Mages who are not Choco. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I haven't won that many games with, you know, Paladins who are not John Dark Souls. So I'm really torn whether it's name brand required or just strong. What do you guys think?
I think it's name brand required. I think Black Mage right now it's really good in the right hands, but in terms of a average solo queue player, I don't think Black Mage is for them. Really positional and something you have to
There
put
are
a lot
also
of work
some
into.
maps that are just really bad for them.
Yeah, Fire
Volcanic
Map,
Heart.
Black Mage is, Fire Map is not it. Fire Map is sort of like the melee diff job, like, and Wind Map kind of has like the range diff job, but like I think ranged hate fire more than melee hate wind, if that makes sense.
I'd say that's fair, because you can be like a Dragoon and still just tear
So
it
just
up on win map. Yeah.
throw shit from downtown, just fucking chuck shit
Mhm.
at 'em. Yeah. Okay, and I think that's the whole tier list. I actually want to see where we went wrong. Like, so let's say SJ's tier list. Let's see where we disagreed. And then let's see. Oh yeah, this was like the professional play tier list. I remember now. Let me see if I can whoop and then whoop. So yeah, we had the dancers, fucked, hard
Yeah,
game but
dancer's
winnable.
garbage.
Yeah, can be strong. Yeah, these two are here. Summoner, I think we disagree about Summoner. I think Summoner is like fair, good, but
Yeah.
also this is also not a solo queue tier list, so I have to keep
Yeah,
that in
Summoner's
mind.
really easy to pick up and play, so solo queue definitely higher.
Yeah. I think when we see like more organized gameplay, like the game will improve a lot. Because right now solo queue is kind of like a Mario Party Clown Fiesta. It's like really bad.
Maybe season 2, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Then with Ellie's tier list, yeah, check. A little bit different. I put the sage a little bit here, and hard disagree on the Dark Knight. Or it was like theoretically it could be good, but we just don't have any name brands in our mind to justify it.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
I put the Dark Knight
we're waiting for
here,
the next Dark
but
Knight main.
yeah, we're looking for him, dude. We gotta find him.
maybe I'll give Dark Knight some like time and like try to like lab it out and see if I change my opinion over
Yeah.
the course of this season, but see.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for helping me out with this video. It was really cool talking to you. Check out these guys. I'll be putting their Twitch streams or whatever in the description. And check out Revival, this is where we all met, like the PvP in Final Fantasy 14, you can come talk and shit, ask questions, and, they'll answer your questions, man. They're like normal people, cool people. They're not like elitists or anything. Yeah, so that's it for that, and check you out on the next one. Peace.